Hey guys, Mel the Train Tutor here with, well, the decision time, isn't it? I've got to say, guys, yeah, the last 24 hours have been challenging. Let's call it challenging. There's been a lot of thinking. First and foremost, I want to really thank everyone who's taken the time to put comments in. There was a lot of stuff I really hadn't thought about a lot, and it's stuff that really did affect how I thought approach this and everything. How I made my decision up. I didn't reply to everyone simply because, with the topic like this, it's like you can't reply with one quick word. It doesn't do it justice. So I decided, I'm not going to reply to everyone. There was a few people, that actually, yeah, relevant. But if I didn't reply to you, please don't be offended. Yeah, I really did read every single comment, quite a few of them, 2 or 3 times to be perfectly honest. Now, one of them made the suggestion of doing a pros and cons list. Yeah, and I did. Anyway, you want the decision, don't you? Of course you do. Okay. Right. With regards to how I got approached at Salute and everything, I contacted them earlier this morning and I turned it down, and, everything was good, explained and it's all good. Yeah. Now, let me explain, where the thinking came from because a lot of people were saying, do it, do it, do it. Okay. Now, if I'm to be sponsored, yeah, by, any sort of entity within the gaming community, yeah, then there's a couple of things, yeah, that would have to happen. Now, first off, yeah, first to make it perfectly clear, yeah, because a few people raised this point, I would never be sponsored by anyone I wasn't 100% putting my name behind. Simple as, I wouldn't, I'm not going to sell out, I'm not going to lie just to get sponsorship, I'm not about that. It's not going to happen, yeah. But, assuming I connect with someone I am 100% happy with. A lot of people picked up on, I was sort of doubted. Chris Holden especially. Chris, thanks, mate. Yeah, Braggy as well, big help. What do you call it? If I was to take someone on, yeah, whatever they did, whether they made terrain, whether they made a game, whether they made paint or flocks or whatever they did, I would have to sort of be exclusive about their product. I wouldn't be able to feature competitors' products. Now, I know a lot of people have said, oh, you maintain 100% creative control. That's all very well, but, if someone is paying you to sponsor you and you're reviewing, their competitors' products, you can't get away from the thought of, if I say this is better than my sponsor, that's going to cost me money. And from a sponsor's point of view, you don't want to see someone you're sponsoring, yeah, shouting out, you don't want to be paying someone to shout out about your competitors' lines. I wouldn't like it. So the way forward on that is because I wouldn't want to lie. I'd rather turn around and say, right, at the start, which product lines am I not allowed to go near? And I'd be honest about it. Look, I do these product lines because of this sponsorship deal. I'm not saying anything good or bad about the others. Yeah, I just couldn't talk about them. Yeah, but that would be an impact on my channel. I would lose my complete independence. Even with saying the creative control and all that sort of stuff. Now, next point is they're going to want dedicated content towards their products. I mean, it's a bit of a snub if they're bringing out products, yeah, and I'm not covering them. If I only cover the occasional one, typically with terrain and all different stuff that I cover now, I only actually cover what I'm interested in. I actually get offered lots, quite a bit, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, and a lot of it I turned down just simply on the basis that, it wouldn't make interesting footage or, it doesn't really stand out. And that's for various reasons, but I don't cover everything. I tend to only cover when I'm looking at other products, things I'm interested in or I happen to have. Yeah. Uh, so I'd have to, if I carried that on with my sponsors' products and only looked at what I was interested in, it'd be a snub, yeah, to the products I wasn't interested in, yeah, and I couldn't have that, so I'd have to sort of, put aside, one day a week or something like that, or dedicate time every week, for showing off their new releases, doing stuff with their stuff, whatever it is, yeah. Now, that's time away from a channel and what I'm trying to do with, the idea of the scratch build tutorials and building up this resource, that everyone can come to, and to keep the scratch building terrain. What the idea of the terrain tutor is about. Now, there's another issue. Yeah, there's the tribal nature. Who was it who said this? I can't remember. I can't remember who said that, but thank you. I hadn't even thought about it. Yeah, the tribal nature, if I align myself with one group, yeah, I'm going to lose subscribers and interest, from people who don't like that company. It is the way it is. Now, I can't affect that. I can't change that, but I should acknowledge that at least. Now, the other issue is, as well as the tribal nature, I would actually lose monetization. One of the guys pointed out that if you have sponsorship, yeah, you can't really advertise on the videos that you have sponsorship because it's a conflict of interest. Yeah, and I checked into YouTube's terms, and yeah, basically, if you start sponsorship and you've got advertising messages in, it starts to get really nasty. So I would lose monetization and I would lose the cash. Now, based on all those things, that's why I turned around and, I sort of turned down the sponsorship deal. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not open to the idea of sponsorship, but it would have to be right. Yeah, and for it to be right, it would have to be a company that I was 100% behind, that I could feel like Chris said, I could feel proud and shout to the world that, yeah, I'm working with this. They're great stuff, That's the way it is, and I don't do the other stuff simply because, they're my sponsor, but I love this stuff anyway, so this is why I'm doing it. Yeah. Secondly, what they sponsor, and I don't want to talk about how much and all that sort of stuff, but because of the exclusivity, the fact that I'd have to put time over to doing dedicated content just for them, because of I'd lose, basically because all the negative factors, what they'd have to bring in, yeah, put into the sort of sponsoring, would have to be enough to drastically improve, the train shooter, what I'm trying to do. If the overall idea was I got a bit of money, but I ended up with a worse channel at the end of it, yeah, I don't want to go down that route. That's not what it's about. Yeah, but if there was someone like, okay, you've got to take a couple of hits, but by getting this sponsorship, it enables you to put out videos every day, to be doing tons of stuff, to be able to get materials and, and really make a difference to my channel, then yeah, then I would go down sponsorship. I'd seriously consider it in that situation because, nothing in life is perfect. You make a decision, yeah, and there's always negatives involved, and you counterbalance them, yeah, so you come out with an overall positive. And what I'm basically saying is, if I was to do the sponsorship deal, because of the negatives, I would have to make sure that the overall positive. So, it doesn't matter if I dedicated one day a week, yeah, to purely exclusive to covering their new products or doing tutorials on them or whatever. Yeah, because 4 or 5 other days of the week I'd be uploading videos on other scratch build stuff and all sorts of other funky stuff. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's the decision. That's where I'm at. Yeah, I've turned down the sponsorship. Yeah, but I'm not completely against sponsorship, but it's got to be the right deal. Okay, so for the time being, yeah, you're stuck with me. Just me. Now, I do want to say, and this is important, okay, I've already got sponsors. Yeah, the likes of Chris, the likes of Braggy, and every other guy who's in my who are patrons of mine. Yeah, now these guys, they do really deserve a round of applause, because these are the guys who've taken a couple of quid out of their pocket, whatever so in some cases quite a bit more. Yeah, they put it in. They've got no expectations. There's no There's no dictations. Dictations. They're not dictating what I do, and I think they keep me true. Do you know what I mean? I'm always aware that when I'm doing my Patreon stuff, I've got to give them good stuff. I can't ask them to support these videos without doing good stuff. Yeah, so big shout out for my patrons, because you are the guys that really do support me. So listen, guys, even if you're not a patron, yeah, just give them a thank, yeah, because those guys do help me, and I love all the support I get, yeah. But for guys to take money out of their pocket, put it towards this idea of mine and this this campaign to make the scratch build library of I don't even know. Listen, guys, yeah, I always get awkward when I'm talking about this sort of stuff. Always, it's just the way I am. It's a hot day in here. So listen, to my patrons, I really thank you. Yeah, on the sponsorship, not right now, maybe in the future, but if I do go down it in the future, it will only be if there's a major positive. Okay? If there isn't, I'm me. I'm Mel the Train Shooter. I'm crazy. I'm independent. And to be truthful, let's be honest, I don't think anyone's going to sponsor me like that anyway. So it's me, my patrons, my commenters, my subs, and all my bros. Yeah, let's keep building terrain, eh? In the meantime, right, I've got tons to do. See you later, guys. Ta-da.